Respected elders, educationists, dear teachers and dear students, welcome. In this class, we are going to see the main uses of the modal auxiliary verbs might. So I have given some 10 main uses, and also there are some subdivision in each head. Come, let us see them. Auxiliary verbs. Part 3b, 10 uses of might. Video, 205. Video number 205, dated 9/11/2023. Might, that is 4. Number 4, regarding the auxiliary verbs, modal auxiliary verbs. Here we are going to see might. Might means possible or perhaps, etc. Might means. See, might is the past tense of may, as could is the past tense of can. Might is the past tense of may, but you ought to know might can be used to express the activities of present tense, future tense and also past tense. To express the events of these three tenses could be expressed using might. Let us see them. Here, might is a might. This is the word. It is the pronunciation symbol. Might. This has no, M-I-G-H-T has no value regarding the pronunciation of English. It is the pronunciation. It is the phonemes, symbols. So for each and every word, if you want to learn English, that is to speak English correctly and fluently, you ought to know the phonetic symbols of English words and letters. Okay, here might means possible or perhaps. Uses of might. Might is always followed by our infinitive, that is might plus present verb. As may is followed by a present verb, might is also followed by a present verb. Not only may and might, but all the auxiliary verbs, whether a modal or semi-modal or principal auxiliaries, whatever they are, they will be followed by a present verb. This is the English rule, grammatical rule. Okay, might is always followed by infinitive, might plus present verb. See, he might come tomorrow. That is perhaps he will come tomorrow. He might come tomorrow means perhaps he will come tomorrow. It might rain. He might come tomorrow. It might rain in the evening. That is perhaps. It might rain in the evening means perhaps it will rain in the evening. This is the fact. This is the meaning of might. You see, first we are going to the first use of might. Permission. 1. Might can be used for politely asking permission to do something. Might can be used for politely expressing permission, or politely asking permission to do something. Might I borrow your pen? Polite request. Might I borrow your pen? Might you lend me rupees 1000? These are polite requests. Like, may I borrow your pen? Might I borrow your pen? Might you lend me rupees 1000? This is a polite request. Use one and a permission. Second use. Might is used when reporting that someone asked for permission to do something. That is, we can use might to report the wish of a person to do something. That is, might can be used to report that someone is wishing or someone is asking to do something. Might is used when reporting that someone asked for permission to do something. If you ask for permission to do something, if you ask permission to do something, then you can use this might. Okay, it's earlier. Devi asked if she might come in and look around. That is, Devi asked the owner of that property if I might come in and look around. That is, Devi asks someone. That is, I am telling in a direct speech. Devi asks our owner of the place, sir, can I come in and look around? Can I come? Can I come in and look around? You see, Devi asked if she might come in and look around, informing the request. See, Devi informs her request to come in and look around. Similarly, Karthi asked whether he might introduce his father to him. That is informing the request. That is, Karthi asks his headmaster whether he can introduce his father to him. Yes. So, to report the wish of someone to do something. To report the wish of someone to do something. Might can be used. Devi asked if she might come in and look around. Karthi asked whether he might introduce his father to him. That is politely informing these things. Then, third use, under permission. Affirmative answers to might I. That is the positive answer to the question, to the request. Might I? Might I borrow your book? This is the polite request. Yes, you might. Yes, of course. It is the polite answer. It is the polite positive answer. Sir, might I borrow your book? Use your book? Polite request. Yes, you may. Yes, of course. Of course means you may. Yes, of course. You might use. This is the positive reply. Then what is the negative reply? For a negative answer, no, you might not. So the positive answer is yes, you might. It is normal and formal. But here the negative answer is, you can say no, you might not. But in the ordinary uses, in the daily use, this form of no, you might not is not used. In normal use, the English people use I would rather you did not. I would rather you did not. I am afraid not. This kind of negative answer only English people are using. but not the non-English, but not the foreigners of English. Thus we can see the three uses of might under the getting permission. Then we are going to see the possibility. That is the possibility where might is used. Here, possibility might is used in the meaning of course, that is perhaps. Might is used in possibility with the meaning perhaps. Here the first pattern, the pattern of the verb under possibility. Might plus present infinitive. That is might plus present verb. As we saw in may, can express possibility in the present or future. To express the possibility of present and future events, we could use might plus present verb. You see, here might is used in the meaning perhaps. He might tell his wife. That is, he might tell his wife means perhaps he tells his wife, or perhaps he will tell his wife. It can be used both in the present tense as well as future tense. He might emigrate. That is a person. He might emigrate means perhaps he will migrate to some other places, to some other place. So it is as the event is to happen in the future, who can better use future tense. Perhaps he will emigrate. He might emigrate means perhaps he will emigrate, only in future tense. It is both in present and future, but it is only in the future tense. You see here, Devi might know Rani's address. Devi might know Rani's address. That is, perhaps Devi knows Rani's address. It refers to the present tense. It refers to the present action. So, Devi might know Rani's address means perhaps Devi knows Rani's address. So, here might is used to present and future. Here might is used to the future. Here might is used to refer to the present. Then the second use under possibility. Might can also be used in the continuous infinitive. That is, in the first use we saw might is used in the bare infinitive. That is simple infinitive. But here it can also be used. Might can be also used in continuous infinitive. You see, he might be waiting at the station. Might be waiting. Continuous infinitive. He might be waiting at the station. Perhaps he is waiting at the station. He might be waiting at the station when we arrive. Future. Perhaps he will be waiting at the station. Here he might be waiting at the station means it refers to the present tense. So he might be, perhaps he is waiting at the station. Continuous. Perhaps he is waiting at the station. He might be waiting at the station when we arrive means perhaps he will be waiting at the station. This is the second use under possibility. Here both may and might can be used, but might slightly increases the doubt. That is, the context like this, you can use both may and might, but might slightly increases the doubt. Note that in speech we can also indicate increased doubt by stressing may, might. Murugan may lend you the money. With a strong stress on may implies that this is not very likely. Yes, a stress on may, a strong stress on may implies that this is not very likely. That is, mostly it is unlikely. You see, Murugan may lend you the money. Murugan may lend you the money. That is, it increases the doubt. It increases the positive, it increases the negative answer. The scope for positive answer is very, very less. So, Murugan may lend you the money. Then, of course, you may lend. But the possibilities are very, very less. Here, Valan might lend you the money. With a strong stress on might implies that I do not think it is at all likely. That is, it is unlikely. Valan might lend you the money. Valan might lend you the money. It means the possibility of Valan lending the money, the possibility of Valan lending the money is unlikely. The possibilities are nil. Thus we have seen two uses of possibility. Two uses of might under the heading possibility. Then third use, might in the negative and interrogative. How we can use might in the negative and interrogative? The negative presents no problems. So using the negative of might, that is might not or might, is no problem. It poses no problem. Devi might not believe your story. There is no problem here. That is, perhaps Devi does not believe your story, or perhaps Devi will not believe your story. Devi might not believe your story means perhaps Devi does not believe your story, or perhaps Devi will not believe your story. But in interrogative, the interrogative is normally expressed by do you think or a construction with be plus likely. That is, might not is normally used. Might is not normally used in questions, in interrogation. Might is not used. Instead of might, do you think or be plus likely, this pattern is used. Either do you think or be plus likely is used instead of might. That is, English people are not using might in interrogation. Do you think he is alone? Is it possible? Do you think he believes your story? Is it likely that the plane will be late? Is the plane likely to be late? So, is it possible? So, instead of might, they are using this. Do you think or is it possible? Is it likely? Do you think or is it likely? This is the pattern regarding interrogation. So, under the third use of might under the heading of possibility is in negative we could use might, but in interrogative sentence, in interrogation, in question, I can't say you cannot use, but it is not normally used. Only do you think or be plus a likely is used. May for possibility very seldom introduces a sentence. That is, to introduce possibility, may is seldom used. That is, may is not used. Who can write? When may we expect you? Rarely used. We can say, we can write, but it is not in use. It is very seldom introduces. It is not introduced because it is not used. Might is just possible. Instead of may, might is just possible. Might they be waiting outside the station? Possibility is more. Here possibility is less. Actually it is not used, but here possibility is more. Might they be waiting outside the station? You can use. But would they be waiting? Do you think they are waiting? Would be more useful. That is, in English, the English, in English, the English, use might they be waiting outside the station. The use is less, but would they be waiting, or do you think they are waiting, are more useful. Thus, under the heading possibility, we have seen the three main uses of might. Now we are going to see the uses of might plus perfect infinitive. The pattern of the might plus perfect infinitive. That is, might plus have plus past participle. What are its use? What are its uses? This form is used in speculation about past actions. That is, might plus have plus past participle. The pattern of this verb is used to express speculation upon action, speculation of a past action. That is, might plus have plus past participle is used to express the speculation of past actions. You see, he might have gone. He might have gone. That is, it is possible that he went, or it is possible that he has gone. We can use here, we can mean either simple past or the present perfect. Both the pattern of verbs can be used. Either simple past or a present perfect can be used in this way. He might have gone, or perhaps he went, perhaps he went, or perhaps he has gone. Either present, either simple future, or simple past or present perfect tense can be used here. Might plus perfect infinitive, that is, might plus verb plus past participle, can be used to express the speculation of past actions. He might have gone. It means that is, it is possible that he went, or it is possible that he has gone, or perhaps he went, or perhaps he has gone. Then what use? Might can be used in conditional type 2 and 3 instead of would to indicate possibility instead of certain results. So, dear students, it is very, very important. That is, might can be used instead of would in the conditional types 2 and 3 to express possibility instead of certainty. That is, might can be used in conditional type 2 and 3 to express possibility instead of certainty. It is very, very important. That is, if plus second type. If he saw you, he would stop. If he saw you, not saw, if he saw you, he would stop. It's certain. He must stop. He must stop if he saw you. Then here, if he saw you, he might stop. Perhaps he stops. That is, when we use would, it means must, should, other definitely. He definitely stops. He must stop. But when you use might, it would be giving the meaning. Perhaps he stops. Then, if plus third type. If he had seen you, he would have stopped. If he had seen you, he would have stopped. It means he must have stopped. In case of having seen you, in case of having seen you, he must have stopped. He should have stopped. But might, he might have stopped means in case of having seen you, perhaps he had stopped. Perhaps he had stopped. Perhaps he had stopped. When you use might, when we use would, he must have stopped. But when we use might, it would be giving the meaning perhaps he had stopped. Perhaps he had stopped. But when we use would, he might have stopped. But then second example I am giving. If you worked harder, you would get good marks. If you worked harder, you would get good marks. It means you might get good marks. In the event of working hard, you must get good marks. It's if you worked harder, you might get good marks. It means perhaps you get good marks. When we use would, you must get good marks. When we use might, perhaps you get good marks. Yeah, like that. Like we say in the third type, that is certain second type, possible second type. It is certain second type. It is second type possible. Then third type. If you had worked harder, if you had worked harder, you would have got good marks. It means in the event of having worked hard, you must have got good marks. In the event of, if you had worked harder means in the event of having worked harder, you must have got good marks. But when we use might, perhaps you got good marks. When you use might, it means perhaps you had got good marks. Would, you must have got good marks. Might, perhaps you had got good marks. Then, fifth use, might. Might is used in indirect speech. He said, you may get your books tomorrow, direct speech. He said that I might get my books the next day. That is, as the reporting verb is in past tense, the reported verb may is changed into its past tense might. Then The sixth use of might. Might is used to suggest politely what someone should do. அதாவது to say politely what someone should do. To say politely or to suggest politely what someone should do. Who can use might? If you need more information, you might try the internet. That is, if you want more information, if you need more information, means if you want more information, you might try the internet. Polite such as sense. Polite to such a sense. That is, perhaps you use internet. You might try the internet means perhaps you use internet. You're polite to such a sense. That is polite advice. That is, we can use might to politely suggest something. Politely suggesting to do something. If you need more information, that is, if you want more information, you might try the internet. Perhaps you use the internet. You might try the internet means perhaps you use the internet. This is the sixth use. Then, seventh use. Might is used to express with annoyance that someone should have done something but not done. That is, might is used to express the anger that someone did not do something that they ought to have done. I mean, might is used to refer to the first action, to express anger that someone did not do the duty that they should have done. You might at least say thank you. That is, perhaps you say thank you. It might has been used in the present tense. That is, you might at least say thank you. It means perhaps you say thank you with irritation. You might at least say thank you. You might at least say thank you. That is, perhaps you say thank you with irritation than in past tense. They might have cleaned up before they left. They might have cleaned up before they left. Perhaps they have cleaned up. It means perhaps they have cleaned up with irritation. They might have cleaned up before they left. They might have cleaned up before they left. That is with irritation. Perhaps they have cleaned up. So this is the seventh use. And the eighth use of might. Might is used, past purpose, to express the past intention. To express past intention. Who can use might? Might is used after so that to say that someone did something in order to something else to happen or to be possible. That is, might is used to express, might is used after so that or in order to. Might is used after so that or in order to say that someone did something in order to something else to happen, in order to something else to happen or be possible. I asked for help so that I might finish the work in time. I asked for the help so that I might finish the work in time. That is, it means perhaps I finish the work in time. I asked for help so that I might finish the work in time. Perhaps I finish the work in time. It means it is the past, in past it takes with the past tense. Perhaps I finished the work in time. Here the purpose was finishing the work in time. Might is used after so that to express that someone did something in order to something else to happen or be possible. I asked for help. I asked for why? So that I might finish the work in time. If someone helped me, I would do my work in time. For that purpose, I asked the help. So, perhaps I finished the work in time. Perhaps I would finish the work in time. Then, ninth use. Might can be used in the meaning of although when two things are referred to. Might is used to say two things which are opposite to each other by nature. Might is used to say two things which are opposite to each other by nature. To compare two things, we can use might, giving the meaning though, although, even though. He might be nearly 17, but he is still very immature. That is, he might be nearly 17, but he is still very immature. It means, though he is 17, he is immature. Though he is 17, he is immature. He is not mentally rightly developed. He is not mentally rightly developed. He might be nearly 17, but he is still very immature. That is, though he is 17, he is still immature. Then past tense. Then although we can also use although. Although she might understand his beliefs, she could not accept them. That is, although she might understand his beliefs, she could not accept them. That is, even though, perhaps she understood. Perhaps she understands his feelings. Perhaps she understands his feelings, but she does not accept his feelings. She understands. Perhaps she understands his feelings, but she does not accept them. Though she understands. That is, she understands. So perhaps she understands his beliefs, his feelings, but she doesn't accept them. For formal question, that is formal question. Might is used to ask a question in a formal way, but rather in unfriendly way. That is, might can be used in formal questions, but the expression should be unfriendly. To express unfriendly intention, we can use might in the formal form. And who you might be, young man? And who you might be, young man? Who are you, young man? Who are you? Young man, who are you? Rudely asking. Hello, young man, who are you? in an unfriendly way, putting the question in, hello young man, who are you? Why are you here? So, like this, it is to say, and you might be, and who you might be, and who you might be. Okay, who are you, young man? Who you might be, young man? Who are you, dear young man? That is in an unfriendly way. To ask in an unfriendly way, you can use might in the formal way to express unfriendly feelings, unfriendly intention. So, dear students, thus we will see the 10 main uses of, and of course, some about 16 or 17 uses of totally, because under the getting possible, under the getting possibility, three in each subdivisions. So about 17 or 18 main uses of might, we will say. Dear students, again we say, that is, even though might is the past tense of may, might could express present action, future action, as well as the past action. So we can use might to express present action, future action, as well as past actions. But what are the ways to express? Mainly, may is used to express possibility. It is the main use of might as may. But there is some difference between may, slight difference between may and its past tense might. So it is a part we should learn. What are the grammatical rules the English have framed? That is, the English people have framed them regarding the usage of may and might. It is very must. We ought to understand the usage of may and might. In the next class, we will see the uses of will and would. Dear students, I thank all of you for keenly listening to my class regarding the uses of might and may. Till I meet you in the next class, I wish all of you a very nice and sweet